Welcome back to Where Potters Walk. It's episode 24. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Where Potters Walk, episode 24, and it's another positive one. Stoke have now beaten Sunderland twice, and Mark Robins is giving quality interviews. No question marks over this. We've got a manager who finally talks like he knows the game. We're asking this team to choose their December Player of the Month. AI is predicting our home fixtures and how many points Stoke will pick up, and it's January. It's rubbish, so we're picking our worst 11 of Stoke City's Championship era, starting with goalkeepers. Thank you very much for joining. If you haven't yet found the channel, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button. We're looking for over 100 subscribers by the end of the week. If you could help us get there. 20 minutes of Stoke chat. Let's kick it off, shall we? Welcome back, Liam, Carl, and of course, Ryan. Hope you're all well and rested from the dizzy heights of sitting high up in Sunderland, for those of you who went. First of all, Liam, lots has been made about the attendance at the Stadium of Light. Was that the worst that you've ever seen it as an away fan?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's the worst. It's the worst. It was probably one of the worst attendances out of all the FA Cup games, but I can't play any blame on Sunderland's fans. It's freezing, it's expensive, and we've played them 3 times in the space of, I think, 3.5 weeks. So nobody really wanted to be there, I don't think, but it was just a tick the boxes kind of game. Somebody had to go through. So yeah, I don't put any blame on any of them.
All right, let's talk about the game, shall we? A little bit. Carl, who impressed for you?
There was a fair few, to be honest with you. I thought we played some good stuff in parts. Cannon obviously got another goal from the spot. Keeps building on his numbers. I hope to God we keep him. I thought Chamadou, however people won't pronounce it, I thought he was solid again, and as he has been the last few games. So I think there was quite a few decent players. Berger had a better game. There was lots of positivity, I think, from that game for us.
Yeah, it was a fine finish from Ennis, wasn't it, as well? Or Ennis the Menace, as the headline.
I told you. You all laughed at me last week when I said, don't worry, we've got Ennis.
You were right. Let's look at some social media tweets, shall we? Ryan, Mr. Quiff Streams. Hello, Mr. Quiff Streams. Says, it was a good result, that, lads. Great effort. Fine finish from Ennis as well. Nice to see Baker at home in that midfield. Offers so much composure. Come on, you Potters. Let's talk about Baker for a second, shall we, with you, Ryan? Were you glad to see him back?
I'm delighted. I said when we got rid of Laurent and Baker, I said it was a mistake from the start. Why are we getting rid of someone with clinical experience, clearly good in the dressing room, which John Eustace has come out and said it's a loss for the dressing room. He's free kick taking. We know it's brilliant, but not just that. He just needs to be in the squad. He's got the experience. We've got a very young squad. I think he'll bring us to heights again, hopefully.
Okay. Our Blackburn fans were saying that he was no loss to them, Liam, and actually they haven't been that impressed with him. But yeah, clearly Robins is probably going to get the best out of him. Let's carry on. Liam, Steve says, Liam Robins said in his interview yesterday, let's see if we can pass the ball to each other. Well, now he knows we can't, because both our goals came from their mistakes. At least we won. Yeah, was it Luke O'Nine's mistake? I can't remember which one it was. But in terms of the passing, did it look any better to you?
I think all in all, if taking yesterday's game, you can tell on the foremost that it's 2 really young squads. That's why they tend to be giving the ball away to each other a lot. We have been quite renowned, I think, for just not keeping the ball at the top end more than anything. And I think Robins said when he brought Tezgal on, he was quite happy with what he did because he kind of became a focal point. But I think it's going to happen. We've got technical players, but not ones that want to really keep possession a lot. I think most of them like moving up the pitch quickly. If you look at Kumas and Moran's been off the boil a bit. Berger, really, he's not really a dictate the play kind of guy. When he gets it, he does look to get the ball forward quite quickly, which does mean sometimes in losing it. But Baker, he was a bit more controlled when he had the ball. I think he just took a second to just slow it down a bit, which as the away team, a lot of time, I think you do need to do. You know, it helps to kill the game a bit. Even when we were 1-0 up, he'd get the ball in decent space, and I thought he'd ping a ball forward, but he kind of checked himself and played the ball out wide, which is probably something we miss. So I understand where Robins is coming from, and it will only get better with time. But yeah, we do give the ball away a lot. Both teams did. It did become a basketball game towards the second half.
Cheers for that, Liam. Let's have a look at what most impressed people. Carl, was the manager's interview after the game, including yourself. Tom said this is one of the best interviews I've seen from a Stoke manager in recent years. I really like Robins. Dan says, I'm impressed by the way he speaks. You said, wow, we found a manager that knows football and how his team has performed. And Dave says it's refreshing, speaks sense, speaks facts, and gives explanations in his answers. So, it's solidifying the Stoke fan base.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say he's going to be a fantastic manager just from the interview, but the way he spoke, he knows his stuff. I mean, it was refreshing for having a manager come out. He said it how it was. He wasn't afraid to call his team out for, the passing, the misplaced passes. I think he broke the game down very well. And like I say, out of all the Stoke City managers we've had, that's one of the best, most in-depth interviews I've ever seen. And usually you skip through parts, but I think the interview actually lasted 7 minutes, and I listened to every second of it, and I was really impressed.
Okay. Ryan, were you impressed?
Yeah, definitely spoke well. He's an analysis of the game is something I haven't seen from a Stoke manager for a long time. I mean, he picked it was one question at the very start when they did the interview. That question lasted 6 minutes, right? The interview was 7 minutes long. You can tell from that one question, his analysis is incredible. He's detailed the way he picked players out, not calling them out, but he knows what's wrong, and I think it's a very positive start.
Absolutely. West Brom though next. Hey, let's have a look at that. It's away from home, of course, Liam, as well. You've already played them back in August. Wow, is that how long we've been doing this?
I can't remember who was manager then.
Well, I think it was Schumacher, according to this graphic. Back in August, it must have been his last game, or must have been close to his last game, I imagine. Yeah, well, Liam, compare the Stoke side on the screen there to the Stoke side that's likely to play in the Hawthorns this weekend. What's obviously for you the main differences you think we'll see?
Quite a bit, to be fair. Kumas is playing on the wing now. Cannon's in there. Laron's gone, and Thompson can't get a sniff. It'll be a completely different forward line and midfield for a start. Yeah, the defence will be pretty much different as well, because Ashley Phillips wasn't playing then, and he's probably our best defender now. And Bocat's injured as well. So it's probably going to be not far off a completely different team. Bar Kumas and Junho and Johansson might play, and Wilmot. But other than that, yeah, it's a big change. And we've seen it quite a few years down Stoke. You can break the seasons down in halves with Stoke and the squad who starts compared to probably with all teams in the Championship, to be fair. But the team that starts and the team that ends is so far apart. So yeah, it looks like it'll be the same again.
Yeah. You used to be a song that you always used to beat West Brom, Carl. But does it help you that they're managerless at the moment, or does that make it even more difficult for Robins to kind of detect what's going on? Because Chris Brunt has done all right in apart from the FA Cup game so far. So it's not like they're managerless, but they're not idealist.
Yeah, I don't really know. You'll have to take it as it comes. I mean, dare I say it, we're on a bit of a new manager bounce, which Stoke never have. So now I've said that, we probably won't. It's not like they're going to have a new manager bounce, or they're going to have, the assistant manager. And, he's done all right, hasn't he? He's done well, as you said. So I don't know. Don't know how it goes. Don't know whether it helps us or not, really. But I'm just pleased that we've got Robins in. And like I say, that interview, he's got another week for work with them players now. So hopefully he can drill them and get them playing well.
Okay. All right, then. Let's get your December player of the months from all of you before we move on. Ryan, who stood out for you, ignoring obviously the club's choices and fans' choices?
I think we probably might all say the same player, but it's got to either be Johansson or Junior Chamadou. For me, Chamadou, I think his level and game from when we signed him to now I think it's massive personally. I think he's just grown in a player. He's now popping forward a bit more, got a bit more presence about him. But for me, them two, and probably Cannon, but I think Johansson or Chamadou for me personally.
Okay. Liam?
Chamadou for me as well. We've spoke a few times on this pod about Chamadou, and he's had a bit of stick in the past. And he's said in an interview himself, he's come in as a young lad and he's realised that people in this division are the same size, same speed as him, and everything's a lot quicker than it was in League Two. So it seems like he's finally dealing with it now, and I think it's helped with Shawcross and Robins coming in. They've said to him, defend when you need defend, go forward when you've got chance, but don't overcomplicate it. You know, when he first got brought in, he's brought in as an inside fullback that Schumacher was trying to play him, and then Palach is going doing whatever it is Palach wanted him to do, which didn't make any sense either way. So now I think it's just the basics, and he's picking it up now. So yeah, for me, Chamadou.
Okay. Carl?
Yeah, I think from August right the way up till now, I've always said the same. I've always said Victor Johansson, but I'm definitely going with Chamadou. He's had a brilliant month in December. He's just come on leaps and bounds, and he's beginning to look a real good player for us.
Brilliant. Okay, I'm glad we have get 1 month of giving it to the goalkeeper. That's amazing. All right, and we asked AI this week to look at Stoke City's home games that have to come and to predict how many points they would get from them, and see whether that's enough to keep them up, given the relegation battle. Let's have a quick look at how they what fell out of it. Yes. So, I mean, first of all, your home fixtures, Ryan. They don't look too tricky on paper.
No.
It's your away games that you're going to be going to the big ones, but the hardest team that you've got there is Middlesbrough in fifth, and away from home they do concede goals. So does it look all right? Looking at the fixtures,
Middlesbrough in fifth doesn't scare me because that doesn't scare me because we've just gone to Sunderland twice and we've just got 3 points and we've just gone through. So Middlesbrough doesn't scare me. Watford at home, I don't know because Watford are in and out at the moment. But I think we can get definitely a fair few points and hopefully climb that table. That's the main thing, and let's just see what happens. But like I say, there's a few there that could be a bit tricky. It depends on who turns up at the day. Let's be honest, that's the Championship. Who turns up on the day and who makes the most of chances. That's what the Championship's about.
Okay. AI predicted 11 points. So obviously they got some of your fixtures wrong there, but 11 points from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 games. It's only a point a game. That's not enough, is it, Liam, to stay up? You wouldn't take 11 points now, would you, from those games?
No, but if I was Mark Robins now looking at their own fixtures, I'd be thinking we've got a good chance of getting away from the relegation. Personally, if you've got any, not even positivity, if you've got any ambition, doesn't even need to be that. There's games on there that if you apply yourself, you should be getting results at home. I know it's not as straightforward as that, but it's not like the run we've just had, which fair enough when we've had Leeds, Burnley, and Sunderland, and games like that. But I reckon when Robins has looked at them fixtures, he thought he's got a good chance of picking up a fair few points.
Absolutely. And two night games there as well, or 3 night games. Obviously, you've got Middlesbrough at home is a night one, Blackburn at home is a night one, plus Luton at home is also a night one. So that's a fair few light shows to come, isn't there? And you're also hoping, Carl, aren't you, that Sheffield United have probably won the league by the time that they come rock up in the end of April?
Yeah, I think I said in a podcast a fair few months ago, they are my favourites to go up. They seem a decent team, them and Leeds. To be honest with you, knowing Stoke will lose against Oxford and go and beat Sheffield United 3-0, that's just how we roll, that is. But looking at the fixtures, you probably, as I say, you've got Sheffield United and Blackburn that look tricky on paper, but the rest, you should be picking up something out of them.
Brilliant. All right, thank you very much. And before we let you go, before we let all of you go, don't forget, drop us a subscribe. We want to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the month. Thank you for helping us get there. We're very, very close. You can just push us over the line. That would be great. Because January's rubbish, what we thought we'd do is have a bit of fun on here and make up the worst 11 that these guys have ever seen in terms of a Stoke City side from 20 years of Championship and Premier League action. So we're starting in goal. We're doing a flat 4-4-2, so we're going to do strikers next week. So think about the worst 2 strikers you've ever seen in a Stoke City shirt. And let's do goalkeepers first, though. Liam, kick this one off for us.
I'm going to go with the goalie we had in the Premier League called Jakob Haugaard. And I think at the time we had Shay Given in goal, who was also pretty bad for us. And he got injured, and I think they might have just picked a fan out of the stand to put him in, give him some gloves and chucked him in there because he's the only goalkeeper I've seen who's scared of having a ball kicked at him. So, Jakob Haugaard can go in goal for me.
All right, that's a good shout. Carl?
I'm going to go. We had him when he was declining massively because he was a good goalkeeper and he did play for Chelsea, but I'm going to go for Ed De Hoy. I just think we got him at the wrong end of his career. He never did nothing too wrong, but he just seemed a bit slow. And so I'll go with Ed De Hoy for a different name.
All right, okay. Ryan, you can choose either of these yourself, or you can throw a third name in.
I don't know if I'm getting a bit too harsh here or not, but I'm going to go Jack Bonham. I'm sorry, Jack Bonham. If you watch this, probably not, but Jack Bonham, I don't think we've actually had a bad spell of keepers. I don't know if the lads agree, but I don't think we've had massively bad keepers. Jack Bonham just, I think, slightly tipsy for me. I'm sorry to him. Sounds a bit harsh, He tried his best, but unfortunately, Jack Bonham.
Always ends up in there, though, doesn't he? Always ends up in goal at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Travis got recording. We ended up back with Jack Bonham, and we were all gutted, let's be fair.
Right. Let us know in the comments who is your worst Stoke goalkeeper of the last 20 years. And next week we're doing strikers, so get your thinking caps on for that. Right, you lot enjoy your trip.
How many strikers can we have? 6 up front.
You pack the midfield with them. Right, enjoy your trip to the Hawthorns, you lot. You usually do all right there. Let's find out in 7 days' time whether you continue that trend. We'll see you on the other side of it. Enjoy your week.